Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting with the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and a number of ministers and the top officials, in which he reviewed the executive situation of the local fertilizers factories as well as the agricultural production. The details follow.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi directed the executives to expand the construction of nitrogen fertilizers factories as one of the effective components which has its impact on agricultural production and food security. This came during a meeting on Saturday with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Agriculture Said Al-Qasir, Minister of Higher Education Dr. Muhammad Ayman Ashur, and a number of top officials. Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassam Radi said the meeting also tackled the executive situation of developing the Veterinarian Scientific Center for Research and Training in the Livestock and Dairy Products Complex in El Sadat City, as well as boosting the local system of fertilizers production. The President also instructed to afford the researchers with the most modern labs and scientific equipment, coping with the international standards of quality control, with the aim to obtain the international accreditation as a scientific and research institution. Moreover, President Sisi discussed the future vision of the center, which presents the lab and technical services to the all Delta provinces, as well as conducting research that focus on improving the breeds and boosting the quality of meat and milk products, in addition to qualifying fresh graduates to work in different specialties.
Earlier, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, the Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources, Hani Suwailam, Head of the Armed Forces Engineering Authority, General Hisham al-Suwaifi, and the Director of the Armed Forces Water Department, General Magid Sayed. Presidential spokesperson Bassam Radi said that the head of state gave his directives to resume the efforts to rationalize the Nile water usage all over the country. The meeting also discussed the water resources in general, as the President was briefed on the irrigation plan concerning the land reclamation projects in Tushka, Western Delta, the New Delta, and Sharq al-Awaynat. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi gave directives to Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli to answer the questions sent by the Economic Committee of the National Dialogue to the Cabinet to be put into discussion at the Economic Conference Egypt of 2022. This comes as the National Dialogue Board of Trustees welcomes the invitation of Prime Minister Madbouli to the National Dialogue Board of Trustees, the Economic Access and its committees to attend the economic conference and to participate in its activities. The conference will kick off on Sunday at the new administrative capital to discuss the current situation as well as the future of the Egyptian economy amid consecutive economic crises around the world. Earlier, the General Coordinator of the National Dialogue, Diya Rashwan, sent questions and inquiries that were prepared by the Economic Committee of the National Dialogue to the Cabinet. The inquiries will be filed to the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli to be discussed at the Economic Conference as a form of cooperation between the National Dialogue and the Economic Conference. The Board of Trustees of the National Dialogue pointed to the importance of answering those questions. Minister of Health and Population Khalid Abdel Ghaffar held a tour in South Sinai Governorate in which he reviewed the health preparations for the COP27 due to be held in November in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. The minister inspected the quarantine department at Sharm el-Sheikh International Airport and the number of health facilities in the city. Abdel Ghaffar stressed the ministry's utmost keenness to provide all the medical services at the highest level for the delegations participating in the international climate gathering. Egypt strongly condemned the Houthi drones attack on the Dabba oil terminal located in the town of Hadramaut province as the oil tanker Nisos was preparing to enter the terminal. In a statement, the Foreign Ministry held the Houthi group accountable for this current escalation in Yemen, along with hindering efforts aimed at renewing the truce in the country. Egypt asserted the necessity that the Houthis immediately respond to the international and the regional efforts to renew the truce in order to reach an everlasting ceasefire and promote the political settlement efforts. The statement reiterated the Egyptian strong support for the unity and the sovereignty of Yemen and its full solidarity with it to face all the threats. A Lebanese official said that the Lebanese President Michel Aoun